A DHCP server also has its own integrated backup utility. So on my DHCP server, if I right-click the server itself, RTS-DC1, there is an option to backup. This will back up the entire DHCP configuration. I'm going to choose that backup, and I'm going to leave the default location, which is under C, Windows, System 32, DHCP. There is a folder named Backup. Well, I'm going to choose OK, and that will be backed up. If there is a downside to this, it does not give you a confirmation that the backup has completed or that it was successful. You just click backup and we will assume that it worked. If I go to my scope, the Boston scope I created, I'm going to right-click that scope and delete it. It tells me this scope has active clients. Am I sure I want to delete the scope? I will say yes for that. Now I have no scopes on my DHCP server. I am not capable of leasing IP addresses to anyone. Well, I can right-click DHCP and there is an option to restore. When I choose restore, it points back to that same default location, C Windows System 32, DHCP Backup. I'm going to choose OK for that. And it says in order for this to take effect, the service must be stopped and restarted. So it's just going to stop and restart the DHCP server service. I will say yes to do that now. That'll take just a moment and it should give us a message. I have a message telling me the database was restored successfully. Well, I'm going to choose OK for that. I'm going to expand IPv4, and under that, I have my scope, Boston reappears. My reservation for RTS-CL2 reappears. Even the address lease for that RTS-CL2 machine reappears in the list. DHCP actually backs itself up every 24 hours. So manually backing this up is normally not something you would actually do. Automatically does it every 24 hours. A time I may choose to do this myself is if I want to migrate DHCP from one server to another. For example, if this server I'm on right now has older hardware and I physically want to replace this server with a newer hardware server, I can simply right-click Backup. I can back this up to a shared folder. I could install DHCP on another server. Could be another hardware-based server. It could be a virtual machine. It would not matter. I could then simply restore DHCP by clicking Restore on a new DHCP server, and I just browse to the location that that's actually located, and I would restore all those scopes to that DHCP server. Fascinating concept. That is often referred to as a migration. In reality, it's a backup and restore. Now, to look at that location, on my machine, if I go through C drive, Windows, System 32, all DHCP servers have a folder named DHCP. If I open this DHCP folder, that's the backup folder we just looked at. So that is the location my backup was saved into. I also have in this location the database file for DHCP. This file, dhcp.mdb, MDB stands for Microsoft Database, is the database file for DHCP. And we also have various other log files here, an audit log for DHCP. So many of these files just complement the database itself. Not often are we manipulating or doing anything with these files, but they're just always saved under System 32 in the DHCP folder.